Oklahoma State Cowboys. They finished first again in the Big 12. They've won the Big 12 every season since inception. They went 11-4 and 1 last year, and it looked dicey for a while. Oklahoma was in the lead, actually all the way down to the wire. Oklahoma just had to win, I think, their last game, and they would have taken the title. But Oklahoma State prevailed. Um, but it definitely the transfer market. They lost two of their top receivers to the transfer market, so it's kind of a turnover in talent. They went ahead in the first round and took the wide receiver Bradley Qualls. They're listing him as a running back, but I think that's because they just want to get those ratings, like the ball carry and the avoid fumble, some of the running back ratings up, and then once he gets up, if I know eyeball enough, he'll move him back to receiver just because he does that with all his wide receiver or running backs. But what to like about Bradley Qualls? I mean, he's a low vol guy with 30, so right there you're getting a guy that is pretty safe. He's fast as heck. He's one of the faster guys in the draft at 94 speed. Really good acceleration. So here's a guy that could eventually replace Terry Paulus, one of the best backs we've had in NCAA history. So maybe they're looking to the future with that because Oklahoma State is a balanced attack. They like to run the ball. He's got good receiving skills though. He's got mid 70s in catching and courage. Really good ball carry and avoid fumble. He's a good player. Really solid player. I think that he could have went a little bit earlier. I remember putting him on my board and hoping that he would make it to the second round, but there was no chance. He's just too good of a talent. In the second round, they went ahead and took free safety William Gonzalez. And for Gonzalez, this is probably the perfect situation to go into. Oklahoma State is one of the best at coaching defensive backs. Over the years, they've had guys like Juan Hoke and Marcelo Rausch, and even their safety Williams. They get some of the best production out of defensive backs. And so Gonzalez is going into a good situation. Here's a player that is not as talented as a lot of the players picked at the defensive back position, but he's a little bit more balanced than some of those guys that don't have tackle. He's only got 70 speed, which is a little low, but you can probably get by at safety just because depending on the style you play. And he's right there with the 70s pretty much across the board if you go to his man coverage and his bump and run. So he's right there in that mid-range average. A little bit low on the tackle with 59, but I think that should be all right. As well as run defense, he's got 81, which I like that. One thing you look at Gonzalez and you see is 72 volatility. So a lot of these skills have a lot of room to grow. And I think that if he booms in training camp, this could be a very solid pick. Unfortunately, if he doesn't boom with his physical traits, he might not be as impactful as say maybe some of the other more physically skilled guys could be. But decent pick. Not super excited about Gonzalez, but at least he has upside with that vol, so I got to give it to that. There's a little bit of room for him to actually do better. Sloth wasn't impressed. He graded this draft a C, whereas I went up a little bit more because I really like the Qualls pick. I think that was a slam dunk in the first round, so I gave them a B. I think Gonzalez kind of brings it down because I did think that Qualls pick was an A type of pick. But yeah, solid overall draft and should help Oklahoma State going forward. And we'll see how they do trying to get that Big 12 title again.